I'd see him sitting on that couch all day long, just staring at that Hollywood hogwash.
Our favorite show was Hollywood Hogwash.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Hollywood Hogwash. I'm Andrew Pisano, along with Josh Reese. This is the new format of the show. Well, not really. We're not recapping a classic movie, I guess, but still.
You know what? It might become a classic movie one day with time. You know?
Yeah?
Maybe. Yeah.
I liked the movie. I thought Don't Worry, Darling was really good. It had some familiar themes, reminded me of a few movies, but there were a few twists and turns. And
for sure. Lots of twists.
They got me a couple times, I have to admit it. And, you know, the performances were great. I love Florence Pugh.
Yelena was amazing.
Yelena was great. Yeah, Chris Pine is an excellent actor. Even Harry Styles did a really good job.
Yeah.
Not going to spoil anything yet, so don't worry. That's later. But yeah, I thought it was really good. I'm glad I saw it.
You know what? I was really, really iffy, and I know we'll talk about it more when we get there. But you know what? I am kind of glad I saw it too. I'm not as pumped as I was when I saw Everything All at Once. I really didn't want to see that movie, but when I saw it, I was like, holy shit, this might have been one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But this one, I was like, you know what? It's a fine movie.
It was trippy, like Everything Everywhere All at Once, in a way. Like there's some... Yeah, it's very interesting. Can't wait to talk about it. We're also going to still talk. We did watch She-Hulk. And
much more abbreviated talking about She-Hulk.
And we did watch House of Dragon. So we, you know, if you are watching those along with us, then we will talk about those as well. But yeah, let's talk about first the Hollywood Hogwash. And if you didn't check out our bonus episode that we released, I think it came out Tuesday night.
Yeah, I think it was.
Early Wednesday morning, because that's when the news broke. The news broke Tuesday.
If you're living under a rock, boy, do we have some explosive news for you.
I doubt we're breaking any news here. But yeah, I mean, the Deadpool Wolverine movie coming in 2 years. Can't fucking wait for that.
Cannot wait.
Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman posted like another video where they're like, oh, well, don't worry about the timeline because this is before Logan dies in the Logan movie. And then they were going to spoil more stuff, but then music was playing over them as they were talking. So it was a little cute scene.
I went so deep as into contacting an ex-girlfriend of mine who's deaf, but she can read lips. So I was
of course she is.
I was like, hey, do you think you could break down a little bit what they're saying?
Yeah.
And apparently it's just gibberish.
Right.
I was like, fuck. Yeah. I was hoping I might have been like the only person to really think about this, but apparently they thought about it as well.
Yeah, but if you want to see us, we talked about it for about 20 minutes in the bonus episode, so it's in the podcast feed. You know, if you didn't see it, go check it out. But yeah, super, super hyped for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, it's it's going to be 2 years of frothed excitement, and I can't wait to see the little drops that we get along the way.
The little drops?
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to get little nuggets here and there.
Like trailers?
Maybe a trailer. Maybe a teaser.
A trailer?
You never know.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm just saying,
maybe we'll get a trailer one day. Probably. One day, I would expect one.
We might get, a couple leaks, maybe some art that comes out.
They managed to do a great job of not telling anyone, that's for sure.
That's right.
So... yeah, looking forward to that. Go check out the bonus episode. Also, there's a few MCU stuff this week. The Hollywood Reporter says that Marvel's Armor Wars series, we were waiting to hear about that. Like, when's that coming out? What's the deal? Armor Wars is now being developed as a movie.
Interesting.
So no more TV show on Disney Plus. Now it's a movie. Don Cheadle is still gonna star in it. But yeah, no more series.
That's kind of weird because, I guess Secret Wars.
Yeah,
that's going to be a series, but I guess that's going to be the last really Marvel centric MCU one. Because Daredevil obviously is going to be one, but I guess of the main cast,
Secret Wars.
Secret Wars, the one with Samuel L. Jackson.
No, I think you got that wrong.
Did I get it? Did I get it wrong?
Isn't Secret War?
No, Secret War.
Isn't Secret War that Avengers movie?
It's Avengers.
Yeah, this is
series.
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
Yeah, you got that mixed up. I knew you got that wrong.
War, Invasion, Secret.
Yeah, Don
Armor.
Cheadle's in there, but we don't know for how long.
Right.
It's probably just a cameo spot. But I guess we'll hear more about this at some point because obviously Marvel hasn't announced. This is just a Hollywood reporter saying it.
Right.
Marvel hasn't announced, when this movie is expected to come out or anything like that yet.
Yeah. So I guess we'll hear some more stuff later on.
Marvel did confirm that the Blade director Basim Tariq has exited the project and will no longer be moving forward as the director.
That doesn't sound like very good news.
No. And there's also rumors that Mahershala Ali is very frustrated with the project. Apparently he thinks the script sucks.
That doesn't sound like good news at all, Andrew. That sounds kind of bad. And didn't they just start filming it too? I guess they were about to start filming.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess it's going to get delayed, I would imagine.
This shit happens a lot though with Marvel. Directors are always leaving, and the script is always changing, and then they do reshoots every movie has a fuck ton of reshoots.
From what I'm seeing, apparently Blade is being delayed till 2023.
Filming.
Yeah, I guess
filming is being delayed until 2023.
So
when's that supposed to come out though? 24?
It doesn't have a release date.
There is a release date for it. There's a potential release date for it.
This is comicbook.com. According to Twitter users Big Screen Leaks and Miss Lizzie Hill, Blade will begin shooting in January 2023.
So as of right now, November 3rd of 2023. So it'll probably get pushed back.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, they share all these great timelines, and it definitely gets fans excited. Like, they've got this all planned out for the next 30 years. But,
that's dramatic.
It's a little bit dramatic. But, they've got it planned out, but it doesn't mean they're going to hit their mark. It's going to keep on getting, moved. Some things are going to get shuffled around.
I mean, that's what happens most of the time. Like I said, they have so many reshoots for these movies.
Sure. But at least it's not like DC, where DC, it's like, well, we don't really know what's going on at all.
Well, at least Marvel makes you wait. But even when you wait, at least it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Most of the time, also Black Panther Wakanda Forever reportedly has a runtime of 2 hours and 40 minutes, making it the longest of the Phase 4 films.
I had seen that, yeah. So pretty interesting. Because
I imagine they have to do, a lot with Chadwick Boseman being gone. That requires a lot of explanation, and I'm sure they're going to have a big funeral scene for him or something like that.
I wonder if this has anything to do with the Thor. The last movie was one of the shortest MCU movies they had.
Yeah,
and people were complaining that maybe there wasn't enough gore.
Yeah,
Gore the God Butcher. So maybe they're like, well, maybe we make this a little bit longer and we give you more Namor scenes. Namor.
Sure.
I kind of wonder if there's anything to do with that.
if I had to, for the most part, if I had to pick whether a movie is going to be 2 hours or 3 hours, I would always say 2 hours. Less is always more. There are exceptions like Endgame and Infinity War.
Sure.
And even in, other movies like Goodfellas is almost 3 hours. The Dark Knight is really long. But for the most part, most movies don't need to be pushing 3 hours like this one.
Right.
2.5 is plenty. 240 is it's just 10 minutes, but that's still long.
You don't need 3 hours of dodgeball. Yeah, you think you want 3 hours of dodgeball.
No, you don't.
But that might be too
Again,
much.
Men in Black, the first one, is 90 minutes.
Tight 90.
It's over before you know it. You're like, holy shit, I want more.
Right.
And they're like, sorry, you have to wait for the sequels. And then you're like, the sequels suck, though.
I want more of the first one, not the other ones.
God, the sequels are so bad. But that first one is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Also, Inverse reports that Christian Bale filmed R-rated scenes for Thor: Love and Thunder.
I bet
They're saying the scenes are now deleted. It's like, someone has them. They're just going to delete this footage? Fuck off.
The guy who was deleting all the scenes of Batgirl from DC, he went over to Marvel, just started deleting shit.
But even Batgirl's not deleted. Someone has the fucking movie somewhere. It's just, going to be kept in like a locked vault. But no, like you're bringing Deadpool into the MCU. It's going to be R-rated most likely with Wolverine. Put this version on a special edition Blu-ray.
Yeah, that would be
that
great.
only adults can buy.
Well, like what I think what would be kind of cool, and I guess I don't think it would happen, but there should be like two different versions, right? Like a rated R version of a movie, and then a PG-13 version of a movie, right? I mean, that way you get double the money too.
But then what? They're out in theaters at the same time. You can't do that.
Why not? You get double the money. I don't know. I think
you won't get double the money.
No.
No. Everyone's going to see the movie anyway, Josh.
Well, you get all the kids and their moms that, they'll see the PG-13 movie, and then, all the real fans, the adults, they'll watch.
No,
the
what would
R
be
one.
cool is to release the R-rated version on a Blu-ray, but even then you have to develop all those scenes. Like these scenes Christian Bale filmed, they didn't fucking put all the CGI into those scenes. Because they knew that more than likely, this shit ain't going to get approved, but we could do it.
Yeah, now I guess that would be kind of cool. You're always looking for more things on a DVD to kind of stand out to make you want to buy it.
Well, it's kind of funny how DVDs had more shit, like had more special features than Blu-rays now. It's kind of funny when you think about that, because I still collect Blu-rays, but DVDs used to have their own like awesome custom like home screens. And like ever since Blu-ray came out, like most of them are basic as fuck.
Interesting.
And they're boring. And it's like, but this is an upgrade from DVD. It should be better than DVDs.
But it's actually gotten lazier.
Yeah, DVDs have more for the most part.
Yeah, I don't know why that kind of flip-flop there.
I don't know. They just got lazy, but
no. I'd be interested, like, you see all these leaks and stuff like that. Batgirl had some leaks of some BTS footage. I'd love to see some of this BTS footage of what a rated R gore even was.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. I guess he says motherfucker a couple times or something.
I doubt he says motherfucker.
Something.
Motherfucker!
Thor, motherfucking Thor! It doesn't fit.
Why do you still try impressions? You can't do it.
That was pretty close to a Christian Bale as Gore.
You're 1 for 1,000.
That was...
You're not going to hit lightning in a bottle.
Pretty close.
You already had your lightning in a bottle.
That was pretty close.
No, not even close at all. I don't know what the fuck that was, but it wasn't
Christian
even a human. All right, moving on. After 7 years, Trevor Noah is leaving The Daily Show, he announced. He said, I realize there's another part of my life that I want to carry on exploring. I'm going to miss going to other countries and putting on shows. I miss just being everywhere, doing everything all at once. No, I'm just kidding. There's no final date yet, like what his final show is going to be, but the show will continue on. They're going to find a new host at some point. But I never liked him.
I never really liked Trevor Noah either.
I never watched The Daily Show, but I would see...
I saw clips of...
You would see promos, like I'd be watching South Park and they would show Daily Show promos every time, every
with Jon
week.
Stewart, yeah.
And nothing was funny. Like not one time did Trevor Noah make me laugh in a promo for his show.
No.
Like he didn't tell jokes. And I think the problem is like it became way too PC.
Right.
Way too PC. Like my Trevor Noah impression is like, today Donald Trump said this. That's stupid. And it's like, well, that's not a joke. That's not a joke. You're not telling a joke.
But he lasted for 7 years. Obviously, someone found it funny.
Talk about President Trump, but then make fun of him. Tell a joke. Don't just be like, well, that's dumb. It's like, no, you have to actually... and he's so corny. He's just way too corny for my liking.
I never really heard much of his stand-up either. So, I mean, I never really was very interested in Trevor Noah to begin with.
Well, he... he's gotten in trouble too, like for offensive tweets and stuff like that in the past.
Go figure.
But
and
yeah,
yet he's the most unoffensive.
But any comedian would,
for sure.
So
No, I mean, whenever Jon Stewart left, it wasn't the same Daily Show, anyways.
Yeah.
Not that I watched a ton of the Daily Show when Jon Stewart was there,
Right.
But I saw a lot more of his content because it's stuff a lot more of it was shareable.
yeah, and I mean, Jon Stewart was super liberal too, but he was funny.
He was very funny. Yeah,
So
kind of like Last Week Tonight. Last Week Tonight's hilarious. You know,
John Oliver.
John Oliver. I would imagine super liberal, but he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
Also, the fans of the Community show
like
are
Josh.
very happy.
I haven't heard this news. I'm going to be
Really?
happy. Yeah.
Well, you're not really a fan then if you didn't hear this.
Ouch.
Peacock has ordered a movie of the series.
Yeah. Okay, I did hear about
Fulfilling the 6 seasons and a movie promise.
Yeah, I think that was an Abed joke in the movie,
was.
in the show. Yeah.
Yes.
6 seasons.
6 seasons. So it's happening. Joel McHale's returning. Danny Pudi, Allison Brie, Gillian Jacobs, Jim Rash, and Ken Jeong. They did not mention Donald Glover.
Right, and they probably can't bring Chevy Chase back from the dead since they killed him off.
They killed him off. So I wasn't the biggest fan. I watched like the first 2 seasons of Community.
It gets better.
And then 2 seasons?
Yeah, it's 6 seasons in a movie. You know, it takes a little while.
You have 2. Come on, you got 2 seasons, bro. Yeah, I thought it was okay. It just, it wasn't really for me. I tried though for a while, but again, it is very corny. There were some great episodes, like the first paintball episode.
Paintball was good,
but then they just kept doing it because they were desperate for ratings. Because the show never did well in the ratings.
No, yeah.
Because how many seasons were on Hulu?
I think the last 2.
2.
Well, I think one was on YouTube, and then it ended, or one was on like Yahoo or something like that.
Oh God!
And then it ended
Yahoo.
Yeah, and
we'll do a streaming service.
Then it ended up moving to Hulu. Yeah, it had an interesting journey for sure.
Yahoo.
But it was fun.
Imagine we're all subscribed to the Yahoo streaming service.
Mike was in it. Mike was in it for a season.
Who the fuck is Mike?
Mike from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, you have to say the whole thing. Mike.
Mike Ehrmantraut.
Sorry.
Mike Ehrmantraut. Although his character was a grumpy. He was a grumpy.
That's not even his
geography
Mike
teacher.
Ehrmantraut. That's not even his real name.
I can't remember what his fucking real name is.
Jesus.
What is his real name?
I don't remember.
See,
either.
but you knew him as. I figured if I just said Mike, you would know.
Yeah, I did, but the audience doesn't.
Sorry, guys. Mike Ehrmantraut.
That's because I know your brain and how it doesn't work.
Oh, Lord
I've
Jesus.
known you for so long
Mike
that I have to.
Ehrmantraut.
Yeah, his real name. Yeah, Jonathan Banks. I did know that.
Jonathan Banks. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, he replaced Chevy Chase, right?
Yeah,
Basically
pretty
the
much.
old guy on the
He
show.
replaced the old curmudgeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there
Fun
you go.
stuff.
But again, no Donald Glover yet.
Yeah, hopefully he does get attached to it. But they sailed Donald Glover off during one of the seasons anyways. He ended up sailing on Chevy Chase's boat. And that was how they kind of wrote him off on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, weird, I know. But that would be great if he, like, in the movie, like, he came back.
Yeah.
He sailed back.
Sure. Do you have anything else?
I do have something. Were you a Sons of Anarchy fan?
I never watched it. I knew a lot of, I knew people that liked it. I know you
Interesting.
watched it.
It was a really good show. I loved it. Charlie Hinneman.
Oh, boy.
Jax Teller. He ended up getting killed in the show. But
Oh, what? Okay, I guess I'm not going to watch it.
you don't know when it happened, Andrew.
Yeah.
But anyways, apparently he's exploring ways to bring back the show and bring himself back from the dead.
That's the main character?
The main character.
Well, then he died in the last episode, Josh.
Hinneman recently spoke to Access Hollywood and revealed that he is discussing a way for a Jax Teller comeback. According to the actor, he's in the early stages of exploring a franchise return.
He was the main character, not Ron Perlman?
Ron Perlman was the antagonist.
Oh, okay.
So he says, I have an idea that I'm exploring in its infancy where that could be a possibility, meaning him coming back to life. Or him being back in life, or something like that.
That's kind of dumb. If it was a good show, don't fucking ruin it.
Yeah, I don't-
Vince Gilligan didn't fucking ruin things, even though we would have loved
Bringing
it, but he didn't
Walter
bring
back to
Walter
life.
White back.
Right. Yes.
That would have been a mistake.
Yeah, so I don't know how they would be able
Back
to
to
bring
life.
it back unless they film like early scenes of him or something like that. Because I know with the Mayans TV show is like the biker gang that's the Latin biker gang. But anyways, they're starting to like bump up against the Sons of Anarchy. So maybe there's some ways that he could be in, a couple seasons of Sons of Anarchy, like pre or something like that. I'm not really sure, but. I really, really liked it, and I'd love to see a way for him to come back.
All right. Kind of like Justified. We're still waiting. That's coming back soon.
Right, Justified.
Yeah.
6 seasons in a movie.
No, they're not getting a movie.
Maybe eventually.
No.
Did they have 6 seasons?
I think it was 5.
Yeah, see? This would be 6, and then the next one would be a movie.
Okay. Anything else?
That's all I got for this week. Yep.
Justified. It was 6 seasons.
Oh, so this would be the movie part. But
No, it's a fuck.
I know what I'm saying, but if it was the 6 season, never mind, Andrew. It was the gag, the Abed gag. It's apparently gone over with you. It's over your head.
No, it's over your head because it's not a
over
movie,
mine.
dummy.
No, but I'm just saying the joke is 6 seasons in a movie. Dear Jesus,
No
you're
one laughed,
derailing this
Josh.
segment. You can't tell. Maybe there's people laughing on the podcast.
No, you're making this the Josh Reese show
I'm
again.
not making this.
You
Josh
are.
Reese show.
You are. Yes.
No. Anyways, go ahead, Andrew.
Justified is a TV show. It's not a movie.
I know.
You forgot?
No, Andrew.
You thought it was movies?
Continue,
You thought
Andrew.
you watched like 100 movies?
Continue, Andrew.
Well, rest in peace, Coolio. Coolio has died at the age of 59.
Wow.
Oh, you didn't know this?
I did not know that.
Really?
No. I don't know where I've been living apparently the past couple days, but
Yeah, that's
I didn't
happened
know
a
he'd passed away.
couple of days ago. Yeah, he's 59 years old.
Interesting.
Coolio's manager said that Coolio went to the bathroom. When he didn't come out, they found him lying on the floor. Law enforcement said there were no drugs found, nor are there any signs of foul play. But the cause of death is not yet determined.
Interesting. Not that I knew a lot of Coolio songs, but like his one.
Well, Gangsta
Gangsta Paradise. It's the classic one,
Of course.
Yeah. R.I.P. Coolio.
R.I.P. indeed. Star of Batman Forever. Not the star, but he was in one scene.
What was he?
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
Like the Neon Gang, he was like there.
Interesting. Okay.
He was just like hanging out or something. Or maybe it was Batman and Rob. It was one of those movies, but he was in it.
Was he in Don't Be a Menace? Am I thinking of something else?
Okay, that's pretty racist.
No, was
I
he?
don't know. I didn't see Don't Be a Menace.
Okay, never mind. I probably should.
No, I think it was Batman and Robin. I think
Batman
he
and
was in
Robin?
Batman and Robin. Yeah. Yeah, but he was in it for like a second. All right, moving on. Let's fucking talk She-Hulk, I guess, real quick.
She-Hulk, the dating episode. I mean, she finally got some action with Josh.
Josh finally got some.
Josh finally got some
but
from his She-Hulk.
I was right. Josh was secretly evil. That was the big reveal at the end of the episode. And these people that write the show are probably like, wow, we're so smart. It's going to blow everyone's mind. It was the most obvious fucking thing ever.
I don't think it was the most obvious thing. To be honest, I thought Josh kind of got abducted. I thought maybe
No.
that was the thing. Like,
No.
we were going to go back 3 days later and you see him leaving the apartment and like that gang or whatever steals him or something like that.
Yeah, no,
Abducts
not
him.
at all. He only slept with Jen because he was working for that evil company. But no, this whole episode is so... movies and TV shows have these made-up rules that they like to pretend are about dating, where it's like in every romantic comedy... Oh, you have to wait 12 hours to text someone after you sleep with them. Like stupid shit like that. And it's like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
You see that in every movie and TV show.
It's like, okay, yeah, if it was just a hookup, but they were dating, there was a stupid montage where they had the same date every fucking day. They went like the same exact date. It was like, all right, you guys are boring. But no, they were dating. And it's like, yeah, with my current girlfriend, the first time we had sex, then we texted each other like the next morning.
Did you go, wow, still smiling?
Yes.
Winky.
Maybe
to be
not.
honest, I might have used that line before. I did feel myself in Jin's shoes a lot in this episode.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
It is. It did make me feel very sad.
Hey, did you see though that they finally showed her transform?
Did they?
No, they didn't.
I didn't think so.
They
I was
tried
like, what
to.
did I miss?
They tried to trick the audience into thinking that we saw her transform finally, but we just saw her skin go from white to green and vice versa.
Right.
And it's just like, yeah, nice try. That didn't happen. That's what they would do on the Incredible Hulk TV show. Bruce Banner, his eyes would go yellow, and then they would show his skin starting to turn green, but then they would cut away, and then it's Lou Ferrigno.
Well, pretty much the same thing. When they cut away, it was.
But that was the 80s. And now we know that it's possible. We've seen it. We've seen Bruce Banner turn into the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, for sure. They just don't have the budget for Bruce Banner.
They don't have the budget, or they just hired the wrong team, it seems.
Yeah, wrong team.
But yeah, Blonsky's his whole thing, instead of Namaste, it's Obamaste. Did you see that?
That's kind of funny.
Obamaste.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
They're puns on Abomination.
the only part I liked was when the pig man got excited when Jen said she met a guy. She was like, well, I met someone, and that pig guy was like, oh, and he went like this, and I was like, oh my God. It actually reminded me of you, because that's something you would do. But no, this wasn't the worst episode.
Well,
the wedding was the worst.
The wedding was worse, but this was not much better. This was...
Well, they tried to actually give Jen a character for once.
It was a romantic comedy for 30 minutes with like 2 minutes.
But instead of like finding out, like, you know, the Obama stay, like finding out like what you're doing wrong, she's just like, Jen's great. Like, she's telling everyone that she's great. And it's just like, you've displayed nothing to show us that Jen is great. She's like a selfish person that just hates all men. And the show has still shown us that all men are just stupid, evil people.
Andrew, can you blame her why she hates all men? I mean, every man, whether it's someone that wants to sleep with She-Hulk or someone that sleeps with Jen, they just want to use her body. That's all that they want. They just want to quit it.
That's how you relate to it, right? Because women just want to use your body,
just
Josh.
Want to ravage my body.
Yeah, sure, buddy. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about this show. It sucks.
No, but apparently they did tease the main villain of the show with like 3 episodes left. We're finally going to get an actual honest to God villain.
Who's the villain?
Apparently he is the brain or the leader. The leader, excuse me.
When did they show him?
When Josh was texting at the end of the show.
Yeah.
He was texting the leader.
How do you know that?
Because they showed his text messages.
And his text said the leader?
Yeah, it was like the text person, what he was texting to said the leader.
Oh, I guess I didn't notice that part.
Yeah, but apparently...
Well, so that's what we talked about last week. That's the guy from the Incredible Hulk movie, who's going to be apparently the main villain in Captain America.
Yeah, so
New
we might
World
be
Order.
seeing him here. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, okay.
Maybe. So we don't know.
There's only 2 episodes left.
There's only 2?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. So, yeah, we might not get Daredevil until the very last scene of the very last episode.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah. And then in the middle of the episode this week, she's like, roll the previously on.
Yeah, who cares?
Like, oh, Lord Jesus.
All right, House of Dragon. I nailed it. I was right. Just like Rhaenyra and Daemon nailed each other. They finally hooked up. I think it would have meant a lot more if they didn't swap out the actresses. Because, like, to me, it was just like, okay,
you want him to see them bang the 14-year-old?
She's not. She's in her 20s in real life, so shut up.
14 on the show.
And even, no. In the show, they did a time jump when it was still the same actress, and she was like 21. She was in her early 20s. But yeah, the show, at least more happened this time, I guess.
Yeah.
This probably was like the biggest episode yet. The few before that were kind of boring, but Viserys' son Aemond claimed Daemon's wife's dragon,
What a bitch move at the fucking funeral.
and he lost an eye for it because he called Rhaenyra's sons bastards, so they cut his eye, and then the queen wanted to take one of Rhaenyra's sons' eyes in return. The king denies her. She tells Christian to do it, but he's like, don't fucking do it. And then she just grabs Viserys' knife, but Rhaenyra grabs her, and the queen cuts Rhaenyra in her arm.
Jeez.
She's like, now they see you as you are.
A power-hungry bitch.
Right?
Yeah.
At least Aemon's like, do not mourn me, mother. I may have lost an eye, but I gained a dragon.
Right, that's kind of like badass, right? Like, hey, it's a battle scar to get one of the biggest weapons in the entire universe.
And Otto Hightower is like, he's right. He said that. And he's like, and he was all proud of his daughter because it shows she actually wants to win. He's like, oh, you want to win the game.
Well, like in Game of Thrones, you either win or you lose.
Yeah. Rhaenyra tells Daemon that she wants her to be her husband, and he says, we could not marry unless Laenor were dead. And she says, I know. So Daemon pays Laenor's lover to supposedly kill Laenor. This was a good little twist they had at the end.
It was a good twist.
Even though like it was like a set up for like a 2-minute thing where it was like you thought they were going to do something really horrible.
Right. And you were even on it. You're like, oh, I knew this bitch was evil.
Yeah. But I mean, he still killed a random guy,
right,
to use their body. But yeah, so like Laenor's lover and Laenor stage a fight, and then everyone shows up when they see like that he's burned alive, but really it was someone else's body. The last shot reveals that Laenor faked his death, and him and his lover escaped on a boat. So they'll probably be back one day.
Yeah, maybe
probably
so.
in like another season or so.
Yeah, like, you know,
You got to set that up.
In Game of Thrones time, people that would want to run away would go to the wall. But I don't know where they would go here if they wanted to run away, because they haven't really established.
Daemon told the lover, like, there's a place where it doesn't matter what your name is.
He said in the South, right? Did he say in the South?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
But yeah, Rhaenyra and Daemon marry each other in a private ceremony in front of their children, who are all like, what the fuck? like our father just died, and the other ones are like, our mother just died.
What an interesting family they're bringing together.
Yeah.
Now they've got 4 kids, and you know what? If they really wanted to make things strong, they just marry the kids together.
Yeah, I don't think Rhaenyra and Daemon are gonna have kids. They have enough kids, right?
It seems like it, right?
We don't need more fucking bleach-haired children running around. We have enough on this show. And then it seems like the next episode is another time jump where their kids are all teenagers.
Yeah.
I guess it's like maybe like 5 years or something. I don't know.
But still, I mean, everything's moving so quickly in the show.
Yeah.
The one thing I loved about Game of Thrones, not that it was slow, but, you know, you got to live in a world for a little bit.
Yeah.
Here, everything just advances so quickly.
And even Joe Rogan was talking about it on his podcast, because I've been complaining about it. And he said the same thing that I said. All you had to do was add makeup to the original actresses, because they age 2 people, and then everyone else is the same.
I will say they aged 4 people. They also aged the Valyrians. The one girl.
Oh, sure.
And then the guy.
Yeah, right.
But that was it. They just aged those 4. Everyone else was just played a slightly older version of themselves.
Well, in that case, I guess you would have had to age the girl because she was 12, right?
Right.
So you would have had to replace her. But yeah, the rest of them, like, just had some fucking makeup.
Yeah.
And apparently they cast the other ones first, and they shot it first. That's why they aged them on the show, 'cause I guess they changed it up.
Well, that would be the only thing that makes sense, because if you're doing the show in chronological order, you would have to understand that, hey, this young actor's kind of knocking it out of the fucking ballpark.
But it just hurts because I think what they misunderstood or just didn't realize what was going to happen was people were gonna really like the actress that plays young Rhaenyra. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, that's who we're attached to, like 5 episodes in, and then you replace her?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's like, what if they did that on Breaking Bad and all of a sudden Walter White's a different actor? It's like, what the fuck is happening?
Jesse Pinkman is someone different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that'd be weird.
we'll see. There's 3 episodes of that show left. We'll see what happens. Let's finally talk about Don't Worry, Darling. Again, really like this movie. I thought, again, it had some similar themes. A lot of Pleasantville and Stepford Wives,
Okay,
and
yeah.
even like Truman Show vibes.
I don't watch the Truman Show, but I see where you're going. Yeah.
You should see the Truman Show. I might force you to watch it one day
No, Lord.
when we do classic movie reviews. But yeah, if you didn't see it, I mean, it's supposed to take place in a 1950s utopian community,
Right.
like somewhere in California, surrounded by a desert. And like the first scene, it's like, oh, that's right, Nick Kroll's in this movie.
I didn't know, but Nick Kroll just plays Nick Kroll in every single movie, doesn't? Or everything he does, doesn't he?
Yeah,
There's no changing him.
he's the rat-faced neighbor as opposed to the rat-faced attorney and the rat-faced restaurant host. That's a joke from the James Franco roast. When James Franco came back, he's like, I'm always cast as the same guy, the handsome this, the handsome that. He's like, I just wish I could get some of Nick Kroll's roles, like the rat-faced attorney or the rat-faced this. Or
That's funny.
It's a funny joke, yeah, even though James Franco might not be a great guy. Anyways, and I'm sure he didn't write that joke, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the Pleasantville stuff, like in the beginning with the men leaving for work at the same time and the wives waving them off. It's all like 1950s like propaganda of what we were taught what that was back then.
Right. You know, the wife is at home making food.
Yeah.
And has the food ready with a glass of whiskey as soon as the husband comes home.
He comes home, dinner's ready, she's got booze for him, and she's DTF.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically every man's dream, you know?
Well, as it turns out, it was one of them's
It
dreams.
was all of their dreams. I mean, that's like kind of the joke. That's why they did all this.
Right.
They just wanted slaves, really. But no, I mean, of course, if you have a housewife and you come home from a long day's work, you obviously want them to be excited to see you. Not just like, you know, you walk in the door and then it's just like, oh, hey, you know?
Yeah. What's up,
Right?
babe?
That's why people like the dog. The dog runs to the door. He's happy to see you.
Yeah. Dog is always happy.
The hollow, a lot of trippy shit in this movie. The hollow eggs were fun.
That was interesting. You know, I think that when you look back at watching the movie, there's nuggets about what happens
Well,
later.
that's the hollow eggs, stuff like that. It's like the glitches in the Matrix.
Right.
Again,
Yeah.
it has its Matrix vibes as well, obviously. That's kind of like
Yeah,
the whole
Matrix
thing at
vibes.
the end.
Yeah, okay.
The whole thing at the end is we're in a fucking Matrix. And I didn't see it coming, I'll be honest.
Right.
Like, because what's actually really good about this movie is, you know, going in that it's a Stepford Wives kind of thing. You can tell from the trailer that it's just a bunch of asshole men that turn their wives into slaves and they're mind controlling them somehow. That when they revealed that, it's like, well, we knew that. You know, it can't just be that.
Right.
And they got creative with it because first it's like, well, okay, the first twist is it's not really the 1950s. And you're like, okay, all right. And then there's the second twist where it's a simulation.
Right. It did take a little bit to get used to.
But the build up to it, I thought was great. I mean, going
a little bit slow for me, but you know, I guess in the end, it does.
it's only a
make
2-hour
sense.
movie, though.
Well, it's 2 hours. It felt really long.
No, it's only 2 hours, but no, pretty great scene of Harry Styles going down on Florence Pugh.
There's a lot of people that can imagine themselves in that moment, I would imagine.
Yeah. By the way, Pugh's American accent is really good.
Well, it was funny because you got, you know, Few, she's British, right?
Yeah.
You know, and the other guy was playing a British accent, and she was playing American.
He's Harry Styles, Josh.
I thought he was an American.
He's fucking British.
He's British?
Yes.
I really thought he was American.
They're both British.
Shit. Okay. Never mind.
No, he probably just couldn't do it. So, and she could. I mean, he's a singer first. He did a good job, but still. Like, if you can't do it, if they're like, well, no, you can't do it, just do your regular. We'll just say you're British. It's fine. But yeah, one of the wives is constantly telling everyone that something's wrong. We have creepy Chris Pine watching Florence Pugh, Alice, and Harry Styles Jack. He watched Alice and Jack fucking in his house.
Well, so right there, and there was a scene earlier when they were in the dance studio when they were introducing the new wife.
Yeah.
And there's a picture of Chris Pine up top, and then here is I was like, oh, well, maybe this is a cult. I was like, maybe that's what this is. It's just like
Well, it is
cult.
in a way.
And I guess it is. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
But she sees him watching. Jack doesn't see Frank, Chris Pine watching, but she doesn't say anything. Mm-hmm. So that was interesting. Also, Olivia Wilde is in the movie. She also directed the movie. It's her second movie that she directed.
Okay.
And I love the movie. In an interview, she said that Chris Pine's character is based off of psychologist Jordan Peterson. Do you know Jordan Peterson?
No.
He's been on Joe Rogan's podcast. He's kind of like an advocate for men. But I think a good advocate. He's just like a defender. You know what I mean? Like Andrew Tate is like a bad one. Like he's a negative. Like he doesn't do. Andrew Tate does harm for that shit.
Okay.
Because he just hates women. But Jordan Peterson is just like, no, it's okay to be a man. You should be proud of your masculinity and all this stuff. And
So
men do
it's-
great things. They're not horrible people, which the media is constantly telling you. You know,
Feminism, but backwards.
yeah, basically.
Okay.
It's like it because. So, anyways,
You don't have to feel shitty about being a man. Type
right?
Of thing.
Yeah, just because you're, doesn't mean you're a fucking asshole. But
gotcha.
I thought it was weird that she said that because I don't know. I like the movie, but I don't think Jordan Peterson wants to make women into slaves. I mean, Andrew Tate might feel that way. Maybe she
Right.
should have said that was Andrew Tate. But I don't know. That was just weird. Also, the Truman Show vibes when Alice saw the big red plane. It didn't seem real, but then she thought it crashed. And then also the driver's like, this is as far as I go. It's like Truman Show when he got on the train. You didn't see it, but
No, well,
and
yeah.
the train wasn't even real.
Well, now that you brought that up, I'm starting to wonder. I was like, well, I guess the whole point of the plane was just for her to go in that direction, searching for it. But like in the plot of the movie, what was the point of the plane?
No, just to simulate, just that it's real.
So there's just a plane that flies over every few hours.
Well, how many times did she see it?
She just saw it the once.
Yeah, and the kid also had a red plane that he was playing with, but no, it was just
Yeah.
a simulation. There's planes.
No,
Planes exist in this world.
I got you, but that was like the only one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was off-putting. But anyways, go ahead.
So then she tries to go help the people that supposedly crashed in the plane, but she finds some small building, which we later find out is headquarters, what they call it. Mm-hmm. And she looks inside, but then we cut to basically the mind control that she constantly dreams about, and it's Frank's voice, and she wakes up at home. And then we have the scene from the trailer with her washing the windows, and then it starts to close in on her. That was nice and freaky. The scared housewife calls and tries to talk to her, but she says you're being ridiculous and hangs up the phone. I just assumed she was like, they're probably listening to me, so...
Well, we skipped over... Did we skip over the friend killing herself, right?
No.
Oh, okay,
I
sorry.
just talked about how the friend called her.
Gotcha.
That literally was the next thing I was going to talk about.
Sorry, no, I thought we were talking about the other friend, because the other friend that was calling her like, you're crazy type of thing.
No, this is when Margaret called Alice, and Alice told her, you're being ridiculous, and hung up on her.
Well, because a lot of the whole show was like her eventually...
It's a movie. Yeah.
Show, movie, whatever. A lot of the movie was about her becoming the crazy one. You know, she didn't believe the crazy one, and then she started becoming the crazy one.
Yeah. So she goes to ballet, and she sees that scared housewife in the mirror reflection.
That's right.
Which, how did she do that? How did that happen? Curious about that.
Maybe that was a glitch in the Matrix.
I don't know. But still, so anyways, she runs home, and that's where Margaret is on the roof of her house, and she slits her throat. Alice tries to help, but the men in red show up and grab her. And then later, Alice sees an ad on TV for the community, and she's in the ad. and she starts losing it. And another scene from the trailer where she wraps the plastic wrap around her head. And then they have a doctor that tells Alice that Margaret's fine, and let me prescribe you some pills. And it's like, no, we don't need the pills. It's fine.
Right.
And then Alice stole some of the doctor's files about Margaret, but everything was blacked out. Then we have a big party scene with a naked woman taking a bath in a giant martini glass. You know, that classic thing.
I guess maybe that was supposed to be like a Marilyn Monroe ripoff.
Yeah, I mean, I've like seen images of that before, like a woman in a martini glass.
I guess,
like from it's like an old timey thing.
But I think she was also getting tripped out dreams. Like she was seeing those women in her, I guess, whenever she was getting shock treatment.
Yeah, they all look like Marilyn Monroe,
right?
Like they all have the wig and they're in bikinis and
because that's sanitary in a insane asylum.
Yeah. Frank then promotes Jack in front of everyone. He gets a shiny new ring because you're one of the top guys in the cult now.
Fancy.
And then Alice tells Olivia Wilde everything that's happened, but she doesn't get through to her. Then Alice and Jack, this was probably one of the best scenes, actually, when Alice and Jack host the house party. And Frank privately tells Alice, like, I've been waiting for someone like you to challenge me. Yet here you are preparing dinner like a good girl. He's like, oh.
Right. That was fun. You know,
I like that Alice didn't back down. And when she sits at the head of the table,
right
across from Frank.
You're on my level, motherfucker.
And everyone else is like, especially the wives, are like, what did she just do?
Oh, shit.
And even Jack, Harry Styles, is like, oh, I'm a little bitch.
I guess I'm the beta.
Yeah. Alice points out that all the women are from either Chicago, Philly, or Baltimore. And also all of their love stories are the same, which...
They all found a ticket and then they looked up at each other's eyes and that's how they met?
Yeah.
Ticket on the train?
And that's because we find out later that Jack and Alice were in love beforehand, but these guys, the one she's talking about, how they all have the same love story, they literally kidnapped these women.
Oh.
The other women were kidnapped.
Right.
They weren't even in real relationships with these men.
Right. That's how she's like, oh, then the rest of them are stuck?
Yeah.
She didn't want to leave. Yeah.
Right. So
interesting.
There's a lot of layers here. Alice tells everyone.
I just got that one too.
Me too, actually, just talking about it.
Wow, okay.
But yeah, Alice tells everyone at the table that Frank's hiding something. Frank says she's delusional. Frank's wife defends him and everyone leaves. And then Alice begs Jack to, let's fucking get out of here. You know this is crazy. And he fucking knows it's crazy. And he agrees to, but then when they get in the car...
I knew it wasn't going to happen.
Of course not. He apologizes and cries as the men in red...
Like a little baby beta bitch.
Yeah. The men in red pull her out. She goes under electric shock therapy. Yeah. And then the flashback, we see that Alice was actually a doctor.
Right. I was like, what the fuck? It did. At the moment, I was like, this motherfucking movie.
Yeah.
It was an hour and a half of her being in the 1950s, and we got here out of nowhere.
It's like, holy shit.
Fucking shit.
We're in present day. Dr. Alice leaving the hospital after a 30-hour shift.
That seems against HIPAA laws, maybe?
Well, it happens.
Hopefully she slept.
They certainly do a lot of double shifts. But this is because Jack is out of work.
And a loser.
A total loser.
Yeah, it's like he's listening to like Alex Jones on his computer.
Well, he's listening to Frank's podcast on the internet.
Right.
It's not the 1950s. And that's where I was like, okay, it makes sense why Frank chose the 50s, because in his mind, like, oh, that's when things made sense. The wife stayed home. She cleaned the house and made dinner and raised the kids while the men went to work.
Well, I figured that maybe the 50s was the only thing that they had. Like this was the Matrix. Like there was no other. It was just...
Well, we don't know how this Matrix or simulation was created.
Because it kept growing, too. They kept on adding more people.
Yeah.
So I doubt more people were just choosing the 50s. It was just the only thing that they could go to.
Yeah, but again, I'm talking about Frank, Chris Pine.
Oh,
he's
Frank.
the leader.
Right.
I'm saying, like, he chose to make it the 50s.
Right.
Because it's like, well, that's when women didn't question things and they were just...
Right.
they didn't go to work. They stayed at home and didn't have
Didn't.
opinions.
Right. Yeah.
You know? So it makes sense why he chose the 50s.
Right.
So yeah, Alice is good as new, and she goes back home. But then Jack singing triggers another flashback, and we see Jack apply for the Victory Project. And then Jack ties Alice to the bed and forces her to watch the mind control shit with him.
That was dark.
And that's how the simulation works. And I think it was like brilliant to show that Jack was out of like why he did this. It's because he was desperate.
Well,
Desperate people do desperate things,
Well,
and they do shitty things because he was feeling emasculated as a man
Right.
because he didn't have a job, and yet here she is working a 30-hour shift. She comes home. There's no time for any sort of real relationship. He's like, this sucks. I'm a fuck, you know.
Yeah, they were in love, but they were distant.
Right.
And he wanted to feel closer to her, and the only way that they could feel close was for him to kidnap her and
Yeah,
put her under.
Turn her into a slave, but still, like,
Right.
yeah, it was...
Fucking disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, men need to feel like they're worth something.
And
he
he
was
was
not contributing at all. And in this fantasy, he is the breadwinner.
Right.
And she's just the housewife, even though, in real life, she's a life-saving surgeon. But yeah, Alice remembers all of it. She confronts Jack about it. And Jack tells her, you were miserable and I gave you all of this. And she's like, I loved being a doctor. Obviously, how dare you? And
Right.
Jack... it's funny because I was like, well, where do the men, what are the men actually doing? But no, it's when they go to headquarters, the men, when they go leave for work, they're leaving the simulation.
They're exiting to
and going to their real jobs.
Right.
And then they go back in the simulation at night where...
Well, it didn't seem like he had a job, so I was...
No, he does. Because he's like, I have to work. You have no idea how much I have to work. I hate my job just to afford all of this.
I had figured that maybe he was doing shit for Frank.
No.
Like Frank was, like giving him instructions or something like that.
No.
Or like that was the only way that they could buy their way in was that.
No,
they'd
it's
do some
basically
type of
just
shit.
like a subscription service.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still shitty.
I mean, maybe because he didn't
They
have a
weren't very
job, so
clear.
he had to. We don't know what. Yeah, exactly. But that's basically it. They leave the simulation to go do some real job. Obviously,
Yeah.
maybe he recruits people for Frank.
Maybe.
Maybe. But yeah, he's like, I hate my job. You actually get to stay here all the time and live in this wonderful place.
Right. She's like, stay here. I'm being forced against my will, motherfucker.
Yeah. So he begs Alice to stay. And he starts squeezing her a little too tight, won't let her leave his grasp. So Alice has enough. She grabs the whiskey glass and smashes it on his head,
Good for you, Alice.
killing her husband.
Women empowerment.
And then Olivia Wilde shows up. She tells Alice, you need to leave because if you die here, then you die in the real world. And that's when we get the confirmation that, yes, like the whole thing is a simulation.
Right.
Because earlier when they show them both laying on the bed watching the mind control, I was like, okay, that's just the mind control shit. But no, like that is the simulation.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess when you die and you kill your brain in that world, it's not like you can wake up.
Well, again, just like the Matrix.
Just like the Matrix.
And then we find out that Olivia Wilde she knows it's a simulation. She actually chose this because her kids died in real life.
Right.
And in this world, she
kids
has
are
her
still-
kids.
Even though it seems like she fucking hates her kids in this life.
Yeah, that exactly. Yeah,
It's
right.
kind of funny.
She just wants that lifestyle.
I guess.
Alice also walks outside to the middle of the street, and all the women see her covered in blood. And then you can see the women starting to figure everything out.
And that, now when you said it, like all those women are slaves in there, now it's starting to make me think or makes me remember all those moments where the guys were like, what the fuck? Don't look at her. Come on. We need to get back in the house.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want him to start to realize that they were,
course.
And
then Nick
So many
Kroll
levels.
tries to stop Alice, but she runs him over. She drives off in her Corvette. It's a very nice car.
Very nice.
So we have like a car chase scene, and she actually tricks the two people chasing her to crash into the doctor. So that was a nice little moment there. The doctor it's kind of ridiculous, but it was just, we got to kill the doctor.
Yeah, every car.
That guy's an
car
asshole.
crash
Why
has
is he
an
driving right
explosion,
towards
too.
them?
I know. It's funny.
Meanwhile, Frank's wife stabs him in the chest.
Oof.
And she says, "You stupid man, it's my turn now."
Setting up a number 2.
I don't think so. But I would think, but it's like, it was she. So she was in on this,
It does seem like it. Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. Like she was obviously in on it. She
Well,
was
like-
just playing her part. But then she's like, "You fucked up, Frank."
Right. Like if there's Mark Zuckerberg or whatever, his wife's going to be in on it too,
Yeah.
in the metaverse type of thing,
Yeah, they probably already living in a simulation.
Probably.
We could be.
That's a theory. That's a theory.
I mean,
Joe Rogan
according
has
to
for sure.
according to Elon Musk,
there's
he
a
says
chance.
he says it's more likely than not that we are living in a simulation.
That's crazy. So this doesn't even fucking
And
matter,
Elon,
apparently.
can you at least get this man laid if it's a simulation?
If it's a simulation, what the fuck did
Just send
I do
someone-
to get the worst simulation
Just
out
send
there?
someone his way.
Come on. Jesus. That's how I know it's
It's like in Everything Everywhere All at Once. You're living your worst life
Wow.
of all of the universe.
That's true. Well, that's how I make myself happy. I'm like, you know what? I'm having a shitty day, but at least there's a Josh out there that's getting laid.
They're like, no, not even the best version is getting.
I'm taking it for the team. I'm taking it for the Joshes out there. You other guys, y'all have fun.
So Alice makes it back to headquarters, and then Jack grabs her from behind, but it's just the fucking mind control shit,
Memory thing or something.
and
like
she
that.
manages to break free. She touches the glass,
And reset.
and then we hear Frank say, once we acknowledge that reality, we can let go, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see the mind control video, stuff just starting to fade away, the simulation is fading away. And then we briefly see Alice dancing in real life, and then we cut to black, and we hear Alice waking up from the simulation.
Right.
And waking up to her dead husband next to her.
Yeah, probably. How do I
Try to
get rid of
explain
this
that.
body?
No, it's a simulation. It's Frank.
No, but that's what the next movie is going to be about. It's going to be about trying to find those women.
doubt there's gonna
She's
be a
going to
next-
team with the police.
I really doubt there's going to be a next movie.
No, but it does kind of set up for a next movie, right? Now she has to go and free these women from captivity.
No.
I can't live in a world where all these women are still being abducted by all these
No, that's
men.
just the part where you just assume that happens.
Oh, I'm so
You don't-
sad now.
We don't need another 10 minutes to show that. Sometimes movies, you get it. You could figure it out. This was the best way to end it. It ends when
Yes.
she wakes up from the and they don't even we just hear it. But I did stay through the credits, not because I thought there was an after credits. I was just reading about the movie, making sure I understood all of it. But when I got up, I was the only one in the theater, and it's silent, complete silence,
Okay.
and the screen's white. And I get up, I walk through the door, then there's a hallway, there's another door, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Everything feels so fake right now. It felt for the 30 seconds.
Like you were waking up in that
For the 30 seconds, I was like, fuck. This does not feel real right now. This movie fucked with my head, man. And that's how you know it was good.
Yeah. Now you think you're in the metaverse.
Yeah, I would say an 8.5 out of 10 for that experience, for the first time seeing it. I don't think I would watch it again, but with thrillers, when you know
where the thrill's coming.
Yeah, and it's kind of the first hour, I don't really ever need to see the first hour again because it is a lot of build up. I would watch the second half more than once, that's for sure.
For sure.
I mean, I would watch it again. Yes, I'm just saying, the second half is better, obviously, because that's when everything gets unraveled.
I would watch this before I'd watch Nope again. That's for sure.
Well, I would never watch Nope again.
I'd probably give it a 7.
7?
Not the best, but it was still fairly good.
I really liked the twists. I really liked that it was present day, and he got manipulated by a fucking podcast. Yeah. Podcasts are evil.
Not this one, though. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Jesus Christ. I don't know what he even said there, but yeah.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Uh-huh.
Like, share, and subscribe. But yeah.
You put him in a simulation.
I am in a simulation, apparently. So Florence Pugh actually did no press for this.
Okay.
Leading up to it, because I guess her and the director.
Oh, right. Apparently,
Olivia Wilde
yeah.
were beefing.
Yeah, and there was a rumor that Olivia Wilde spit on her, right? Was that it?
I couldn't remember that, but I think she was upset that Shia LaBeouf was actually the first person that was that he was supposed to be her husband in the movie originally. But
Who?
Shia LaBeouf. But
Whose husband?
Florence Pugh's.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was, I guess, fired early on, and of course that didn't make it. And Harry Styles was cast.
Apparently there was a rumor that Harry Styles spit on Chris Pines. But then Olivia Wilde went on the Colbert show or Late Night with Stephen Colbert, and she said that didn't happen. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. Yeah, for sure.
So box office wise, let's see. It led the box office for 7 days.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Smile overtook it this week, but the last 2 weeks it was Don't Worry, Darling. So
Well, Amazon Avatar came out and that led the box office.
did it?
Yeah.
Well, not domestically. At least per box office mojo.
I think Avatar made 30 million domestically, and I think Don't Worry Darling made 19.
Well, I wonder if they counted on this website since it's a re-release.
It doesn't matter.
Let's see, September, October 3rd.
It's just like what movies made the most.
Oh yeah, Avatar re-release number 5.
Uh-huh.
Here.
Well, what day is
backwards.
that? It doesn't matter. Whatever. It was a good movie.
September 3rd to October 2nd. Yeah, fine movie. It was good. Yeah.
September 3rd to October 2nd?
September 30th through October 2nd.
Oh, well, this movie came out a week ago. This was not the debut this weekend.
Right. I was saying the past 2 weekends. It was it was number 1 in the box office.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's do fan questions.
I'm giddy
Why?
for the fan questions.
All right. Let's see here. St. Lopez, you're going to trial for murder. Which fictional lawyer would you hire?
Not She-Hulk.
Saul Goodman, Vinny Gambini, Matt Murdock, or She-Hulk?
Not She-Hulk. Oof. It's a toss-up between Saul Goodman and
Vinny.
And Vinny, yeah. I think I might go with Saul.
Probably Saul.
Probably Saul.
Yeah.
He seems to have more experience. Vinny
It's
just had the one.
It's actually in this order. Saul, Vinny, Matt Murdock, and then She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're like, I'm going to jail.
Well,
Even if you're innocent, it's like, I have She-Hulk, I'm going to jail.
I'm going to get the chair.
Yeah. Because so far, what have we seen She-Hulk do in court? Nothing. She was a plaintiff. Like, she hasn't done anything.
No. She got the cease and desist for Wong. Remember with the guy that was doing the magic?
Court, though.
Right. Oh, yeah. They never.
Oh no, that was court.
They went to court,
fine.
but then
fuck that show. Amir, who's the best actor that is snubbed of an Oscar or Emmy?
Is there a list?
No.
Samuel L. Jackson should have an Oscar. I don't know if he has. I'm sure he has an Emmy though.
I don't think he has an Emmy. No. I don't know. I mean, Leo finally got one for The Revenant, which it's ridiculous.
The Revenant
should have got one for so many other movies. I don't know. I stopped caring about the Oscars. Chris Rock deserves one after getting slapped. Omar, when Josh is watching a scary movie, do you usually have to put a pee-pee pad down? Yes, actually. I started doing that for my couch.
No. Luckily,
pee-pee pad.
This movie was not super scary. There were some scary parts.
It was freaky.
It was freaky. I didn't jump at all, but there were some moments, especially with the eyes and stuff like that.
Tense moments.
I can't handle eye stuff, so that I almost had to leave the movie theater when that happened.
Josh.
I
Look at
can't-
me.
I can't do that.
Yeah, but it's not like anything was happening to the eyes.
They were holding them open and stuff. Oh, I just can't.
Oh, that part. Yeah. Nathan Bain, Tiny Baby Dick, thank you for always messing up your words so we can all laugh. Hashtag TBD Army. Oh, that's sweet.
Thanks for laughing at my speech impediment. Fuck you.
Thanks for laughing at my tiny baby dick.
Manly.
Andy Piccone, are we still doing top 5 lists? Probably not. A lot of people have said that,
We might be do special ones here and there, but
Maybe.
definitely not every week.
Stephen with a V, Andrew in the new format. I'd love to hear you review the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Oh, Jesus. It's going to be a while before we get to that one. I can tell you that.
Probably. What did you think of those movies?
I didn't finish the trilogy. I saw 2 of them, and I can't remember which 2
I was like in high school when they came out. I really liked the last one. I really liked Return of the King.
Is that the one with the big battle?
They all have big battles.
Did they? Okay. I shows you how much I paid attention.
What's your take on Marvel Phase 4? I feel like there's way too much content. Quantity over quality makes me worried for where the MCU is headed. There's certainly some of that.
Well, I'm hoping Kevin Feige might be noticing all the mean tweets that people are sending, and maybe he might start cleaning things up.
Movie trivia for Josh. Denzel Washington has starred in only one movie sequel in his career. What was that movie? I like how he didn't put the answer.
The Equalizer.
Yeah, The Equalizer.
Bam.
Yeah, there you go. Have you seen those? Okay.
Good movies.
Only saw the first one. Roll Up Connoisseur. What's the most dishonorable deed in the Game of Thrones universe? Breaking your oath and sleeping with the princess. Impotence or pulling out?
That's right. Pulling out, I guess.
Pulling out.
Yeah, because the whole point is trying to make babies. Yeah. Got to make babies.
S. Thorne, any thoughts on Andor? I'm finding it pretty slow.
I want to watch it.
And I side with Josh on She-Hulk. It's mad but harmless. Hashtag TBD Army.
Well, the problem is it's starting to become harmful because if this is how it's going to go with the rest of the MCU, that's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rizzler was on a flight returning from vacation in Italy. One of the movie options was Beverly Hills Cop. Forgot how good Eddie Murphy was in the 80s. Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny. I saw it for the first time like last year.
Holy shit, really?
And you know what? You know who's in it? Mike.
That's right. Mike is a young man.
Jonathan Banks is in it.
Yeah. Well,
He looked 60 in the movie.
well, he was younger.
Like, how did he look 60
younger.
for 40 years? That's so weird.
That's right. He was the evil guy in that.
He's one of the henchmen.
Right.
Luis Vasquez, hey guys, just wanted to give my review for the movie I saw this weekend, Smile. And all I have to say is, wow, this is must see for horror fans. Highly recommended, 9 out of 10.
Thank God we did not do that one.
Did that look scary?
That did look
Just
terrifying.
people smiling. I was like, this is stupid. It was making me laugh.
No, I'm sure. Yeah, it gets you with that, Andrew. But then there's like brutal murder.
It's just jump cuts,
No,
I bet.
I can't do it. Can't do it.
D-Log, name 3 shows that started great, but near the end it started to decline, making it harder to watch. He says Weeds, Dexter, and Game of Thrones.
Ooh, shut your mouth.
You said it yourself.
No, Game of Thrones was just the final season.
That's what this says.
Oh, it said final season?
Near the end, it started to decline.
What was the question again?
Holy shit. I'm going to smash this over. Name shows that started great, but near the end, it started to decline, making it hard to watch.
Near the end. Okay, sorry.
Walking Dead.
Oh, that's
Walking
a
Dead
good
is mine.
one. That's a good one. Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Carlos Ramirez, Pushfire Barry.
I'll come back to
Well,
you.
what? Give a 10-minute break? Carlos Ramirez.
Break. Come back to me.
Pushfire Barry, NFL, the movie fan castings. Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Aaron Rodgers. Paul Rudd as Tony Romo. Mark Wahlberg as Tom Brady. Yeah, I'm sure Mark Wahlberg would love
He
to
probably
fucking play
would,
Tom Brady.
for sure.
NFL,
Awesome
the
guy.
movie. What the fuck would that be about?
But Roger Goodell scandals?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
who's casted to play Roger Goodell?
Conan O'Brien.
That's perfect.
Of course.
That's perfect.
You need a comedian to play Roger Goodell because the guy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, that'd be great.
John, I know you stopped doing TV series, but have you seen Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story? Also, who is a possible secret serial killer, Andrew, Josh, Joe, or Eric. It's clearly Josh. No, I did not watch the Jeffrey Dahmer story. I'm not.
It's terrifying.
I don't have a fascination of serial killers like
But
some people do.
So many people do. Like, there's so many chicks that I've dated in the past. I've dated tons of chicks that have just loved those murder mystery shows, the 48 Hours of Justice or whatever. It's crazy how much
True crime
porn.
Well,
there is
when
for
I was
people.
single, my Tinder profile, like, it would be like, I have a podcast, and they'd be like, oh, and then women would be like, oh, is it about true crime? No. And then finally I put on my profile, I have a podcast. It's not true crime. Sorry.
And then he got no responses.
Yeah, because that's why I'm not single anymore. Clearly I got a response. Sorry, Josh.
Maybe that's what I need.
I try to teach you my ways. You don't listen. Tim says, I can see Josh playing a character for the podcast and living a double life. Me too. Yeah, maybe he just plays like this dumb guy, but really he's a genius serial killer.
I'm not a dumb guy at all.
And hey, if you're Jeffrey Dahmer, you are getting laid. It's just a dead body.
No,
Or something like
that's
that.
not me. But no, I don't think Jeffrey Dahmer had much of a personality anyways. I'd like to think I have personality for days. It's my real life person.
I think I said it
Has
before,
no
but I watched
personality.
the oh God, what's his name? Zac Efron when he played Ted Bundy. That was good. That's on Netflix. He played Ted Bundy. Yeah, he did a great job there. All right.
I'm going to say Community. Go back a couple questions. It was the question about what show did you watch that
got worse.
that got worse as you went along. Community.
Hold on. Earlier I said
last season kinda
Earlier I
dropped off.
said you were like, no, it needs a few seasons to get good.
Yeah, it need that. Well, like all shows have a problem with like the last season. Most shows, except for Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, those knocked it out of the park.
Right. Eric Hamilton, Step Bro, another great House of the Dragon episode. Do you see this turning into Rhaenyra Daemon killing the Queen and King? Although Viserys could just die on his own. Yeah, I don't think she's going to kill her own father.
A strong breeze might kill Viserys.
I think the Queen might kill Viserys.
Yeah,
And then
That does seem more
just
likely.
forcibly claim the throne.
That might be what happens next week, because next week Otto he's like, I'm ruling in the
He's the hand again.
right. I'm ruling in the king's stead. Maybe she's like locked him in his room or something like that, and he only has one arm, so he can't open up the door anyways.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Jonathan Ramos, to ease Josh into horror, have him watch the horror/comedy Club Dread by Broken Lizard with Bill Paxton, R.I.P. There's a character named Juan who also pronounces Penelope wrong, so he'll definitely connect with him. That's pretty great.
I thought it's like an entry, like a smooth gliding entry into this genre. I thought that maybe like watching that one movie that you said you marveled that I didn't know what it was. That vampire movie from Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought that might be a good movie to kind of like slide gently into the genre.
You still haven't watched it, right?
No.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Rampager, top 4 best non-MCU Marvel movies. So Deadpool.
Deadpool 1 and 2?
Sure. Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire. What else? That might be it.
Spider-Man 1.
X-Men 2. I liked X-Men 2. X2. Yeah.
X2? Which one was that one?
X2. X-Men 2.
I know. What
The
was
second X-Men movie.
What was the plot of that one? I can't remember.
Stryker.
General Stryker. Okay, yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah, I like that one. And then finally, Pop Culture Junkie, Fuck, Marry, Kill, 2000s Charlie's Angels, Drew Barrymore, Lucy Liu, Cameron Diaz.
Ooh, I actually think in that exact order.
You'd fuck Drew
Ooh,
Barrymore.
No. You marry Drew Barrymore.
Of course, he's going to say the wrong answer.
You fuck Lucy Liu, and then you kill Cameron Diaz.
Of course, you get the answer
Bam.
wrong. You
Drew
kill
Barrymore is the America's sweetheart. How would you not want that?
kill Drew Barrymore. Goodbye.
Terrible.
You marry Lucy Liu and you fuck Cameron Diaz. I always thought they didn't get hot enough chicks for that Charlie's Angels movie. I was like, these are three, you know, like Cameron Diaz, again, I've said this before, but in The Mask in 94, smoking hot. But then she became like a Skeletor. And then, by the way, that movie sucked anyway. So yeah.
It was not great. Yeah, and that's not one we're going to be reviewing anytime soon.
They made 2 of those. Then they made another one a few years ago, or like last year. And it literally made no. Kristen Stewart was in it.
Oh, Lord.
And then Elizabeth Banks was the director, and she basically said it didn't make money because
men didn't
because
wanna
of
watch
men,
it. Right?
And it was like, well, hold on, the other two made a ton of money. It's just this one looked like even worse garbage.
Yeah.
So
men didn't
and it's like,
watch it.
well, women could have gone and seen the movie,
But women obviously didn't want to see it either.
no one saw the movie. Bill Burr had a great joke I saw recently. He's like, you know, women want to blame men for the WNBA game, but where are all the women at these WNBA games?
That's true. That's true. They're all complaining on Twitter.
Yeah. Go to the game. He's like, I don't see any shirtless women, you know, like writing on themselves and like men do. Yeah, it's funny. Anyways, that's all for fan questions. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast wherever you're viewing us. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Hollywood Hog Pod.
TikTok.
Go follow us on TikTok. Next week, Amsterdam's coming out.
Right. And I still know very little about that movie, and I'm excited about that.
I completely forgot, but it's got an amazing cast.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to it. We'll see you next week.